Hi, I'm Elisa Martin, art editor for Uplift Magazine, and I have a very special treat for you today. I'm here with Nir Weinblut here in Beverly Hills. He is the restaurant owner and chef of La Gondola, very special.
We're going to be with my assistant chef Elisa here today. We're going to be playing, we're going to be cooking, eating, drinking, and tasting some of our fine foods. That we made some fun recipes for you, and we're going to be tasting some of the fine wines of the Herzog winery that we paired up with some of our foods. We're just going to have a fun time and play and drink and eat.
Well, I'm excited to see what Nir has to show us. Today we have three recipes. And let's start.
We're going to play with you in the kitchen here. We're going to start with our first appetizer. It can be an hors d'oeuvre, can be an appetizer. It's something popular that we do at our events. It's a home-cured beef bacon. Beef is the key word here. We wrap it in our dates. Now these are pitted dates. Very important to use pitted dates because you don't want anybody cracking your tooth. So with our pitted dates, our beef bacon, and sprinkled with a little brown sugar. I'm going to teach you how we're going to roll it. You're going to roll a few, and we're going to put it in the oven at high temperature. And then basically you're going to put it kind of on the end.
Okay.
And we're just going to be a tight roll.
All right.
And then we're just going to put them on this little tray here. So now that we rolled a few, we're going to put this in the oven. It's really important to high heat. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit of our brown sugar on top. It's going to caramelize it and give it a little candy style. Today I'm going to put together a very great Mediterranean style salad that goes great with the bacon and date. So this is actually our tahina dressing, our homemade tahina dressing that we just kind of put on the bottom. It's a little bit of a secret part of the salad. We have fresh mint, we have basil, we have fresh Italian parsley, flat parsley, very important. We have some mixed greens, just a very nice mix of herbs. I love a lot of fresh herbs. And we just kind of place it in the center. I would tell people when you're putting a salad together, don't push it down, just let it fall naturally. Just let it, gives it height. And then we have our keeping it gluten-free and keeping it starch-free. For a lot of people, we'll do croutons, but these are actually yam croutons. So we kind of just sprinkle them around. Again, when you're plating, if you're going to plate ahead of time, don't put it in the center. Your salad's going to drop. And we have our quinoa. We do a mixed quinoa, kind of mixed colors. Then we have our little radishes. Sometimes, if you want, you can even marinate them. And you can julienne them, slice them any way you want. Sprinkle it, gives a little color. Again, height. Don't let it how it just floats on its own. And this is our homemade Italian pesto dressing. So you do have your tahina dressing on the bottom. And then just, again, a light sprinkle on the side. And that's it. And you have your beautiful salad. And then we're going to place the little bacon wrapped dates on the side. All right. Just a little crunch, a little sweetness. You have all that and some magic in the mouth. Now, very important fact, you have to take it off. If you don't have parchment paper, if you use a Teflon pan, but you have to take it off the pan right away. The reason is the sugar will caramelize and get hard, and it'll stick to the pan. If I was putting it as an appetizer or as a salad, I can put like 2 on the side. Must wash this down with a great wine. And I figured, let's be a little bit different. Rosé. Rosé, I think, is something new in the kosher market. It's afternoon, we're in California, it's warm outside. Kind of the secret of this salad is kind of mix it up a little bit. Oh yeah, because we've got that secret tahina underneath. And you have your Italian. Go for it. 1 bite, 2 bites. Go for it. Oh my God. I must say I might have one too. This is our petit tender. Very lean, very nice cut of meat. This is about 8 to 10 ounces. So we're going to sear it. It's been marinated. Now we're going to put a little bit of fat. This I actually say a little bit of duck fat. Adds a nice little flavor to it. You can use beef fat, you can use olive oil, you can use canola, you can use whatever it is you want. Just going to put a drop of it in there. This is going to be in the recipe. This is a coffee maple glaze that we're just going to put a drop on top. Just kind of give a little flavor to it. And now we're just going to take it. And that's what you want to hear. Sizzle. If you don't hear sizzle, you did a bad job. I love different fresh herbs. We have our fresh rosemary. You can just add a little, any herb you like, garlic. Obviously, you like the garlic burnt fat, but thyme, sage, rosemary. Just take a little bit, throw it inside. We're not going to eat it.
Oh, it looks great.
That's it. It's got a nice sizzle. Leave it on the same side. We're going to actually throw it into the oven. We have our oven on 400. About 9-10 minutes. And then we should be good to go. we got the steak in the oven cooking. That's the benefit of having it in the oven. You don't have to monitor it as much. You put your timer on. Now we're gonna make our little salsa. So we have here our fresh watermelon. I mean, we're going into the summer. So we've got our fresh watermelon, which is great, has a little sweetness to it. Little kick is we have our jalapenos.
Oh, okay.
Don't use your fingers or use gloves. Otherwise, you'll be crying the rest of the day.
Yes.
We got our red onions and peppers. We got here red, but you can use yellow, you can use green. I'm more of a fan of red and yellow. Green has more acid to it.
Yeah,
so
I like the
prefer
sweetness
that.
of the red.
Correct. And then you have your fresh Italian parsley. A little bit more there. Love my fresh Italian parsley. And here we have our extra virgin olive oil. This happens to be a little bit infused with garlic, so it adds a little nice flavor to it. Tuscanini sea salt. I'm a big fan of the coarse sea salt. Has a crunch to it, doesn't dissolve. A little thyme. Now the trick is when you're mixing, bottom up. You know, a lot of people, they'll take a beautiful salad and they'll just kill it. So just from the bottom up, bottom up, bottom up. And we're gonna plate it right here next to where the meat's gonna go.
It's delicious.
Nice and fresh.
Oh my gosh, that is so good.
Like any good cut of meat, obviously. Perfect, good medium, medium rare. Important, like any cut of meat, ribeye steak, filet meat, any kind of meat, you're always going to want to let it rest. Always, you have a little bit more glaze, you can always, with a brush, with a little spoon, a little bit of extra glaze.
That looks great.
I'm a
So I noticed
saltaholic.
you, oh, so am I.
I always throw in a little bit more of our sea salt. You can never have too much sea salt. And now we're going to slice it up. So now we can literally just, if you're going to plate it, we can just kind of just plate it like that on the plate. So everybody always says you have to do red. You got to think out of the box. A great white. So here we have the Russian River California Chardonnay from Herzog. I think is a phenomenal wine. What's nice about this wine, obviously we're in a kosher world, we're not putting butter with our steak, even though there is amazing vegan butters today, but this wine really has that buttery, very oaky flavor a little bit. And it really brings out the flavor of the meat, which complements the steak. Still have the meat, the watermelon. You're tasting the sea salt, the jalapeno, everything all together.
That is a perfect pairing.
So like every good thing comes to an end, but you got to end it with a great chocolate dessert.
Yes.
So we made this is our chocolate pecan brownie, nice, rich, thick.
I love pecans
Great Belgian
with chocolate.
toasted pecans. You can add other, like I said, other flavors, other nuts, other things to it. Obviously, and I know you're gluten-free, so we made you our gluten-free recipe. And this is our homemade little caramel sauce that we're gonna sprinkle. And since it is gluten-free, I'm gonna share some of my golden love with you.
Okay.
Here. Since we went different and we went with a great white with the entree, the steak, there's nothing like a great red, like a Pinot Noir, which is a light wine with an amazing chocolate dessert. You know, whenever I have the chocolate in my mouth, I just take the sip, suddenly boom. Now you just taste the wine even better.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Yeah, that goes nicely with chocolate.
The fruitiness, the lightness to it.
Thank
I'm happy
you.
you enjoyed it. Well, thank you.
This was a lot of fun.
Thank you to the Herzog family for supporting us as always. You guys have been great.
Yes.
And I'd like to thank you, Eliza, for being my sous chef and partner today. And a big shout out and thank you to Uplift Magazine. Thank you for sharing her with me. I'm just really excited to be part of your magazine and to be a gentleman in this magazine.
Yes.
Really appreciate it, and I really wish them the best of success, the best of luck, and I really hope this will be a long partnership. So enjoy the
All
Chaim,
different
and
art
thank
forms.
you everybody. The Chaim.
L'chaim.